Well, hello everyone. You are talking to me live in Jacksonville, Florida, and we're recovering from the hurricane. Let me turn this thing off. We're recovering from the hurricane, so it's all good. You know, I know you see things on the news that make it look like every place in Jacksonville, Florida is flooded, and that's not true. Unfortunately, the people who did flood, that is a terrible thing for them, but it's the majority of the city just has some limbs down. Hello, Sue. So I thought I'd let you know, we came back from Tuscaloosa, as you know, many of you. Great to see you, Raquel. Hi, Fatima. Yes, we're safe. As you may know, we went to Tuscaloosa, Alabama to get out of the hurricane because it was headed, the eye was headed here. But the projections changed once we were there, and they said it was going to come further west, which is kind of where we were headed after the game. We're going to go to the Pensacola area, and that place in the panhandle between Pensacola and Jacksonville was going to be hit, so we didn't want to be stuck over there. So we went ahead and came home, and we got home in time, and everything happened starting that evening. We did lose our lights during the night at about 2 in the morning, and so we didn't have lights for 24 hours. And we have them back. I was able to catch up on, not catch up, but get everything back to normal. I will say that I did my weekly home blessing hour on Monday with no lights. And hi, Lori, former fly baby. Thank you, Raquel, that's true. Thank the Lord. Juan, thank you so much. But I was able to do it, and I know people have asked, how do you take care of your house when you have catastrophe? Well, like I said before, when you have something, and losing your lights, believe it or not, is a catastrophe nowadays. No air conditioning in a very high humidity, high temperature area is pretty uncomfortable, but that's not the worst because we opened the windows and we did get cross ventilation. The worst part is losing information. I didn't have any data for my phone. We didn't have any news that we could watch. Hello, Farmer Mima. We just had nothing but ourselves, and it was okay, but and I was worried about my freezer full of food, even though my sister had suggested that I put water bottles in there and freeze them, which I did, which was an excellent idea. Yes, I'm glad I'm safe too. Thank you, Kimmy. And everyone's safe that I know and love. And I have a friend who has had some things happen to her home in the Kissimmee area, which is near Orlando. She's got some water damage. So actually she was in Maine on vacation, so she and her husband are coming back. But the point of this whole thing is, thank you, Carol, that you can do things when you think you normally wouldn't have done that before. Instead, you would have trashed your house. But in this case, I was able to dust, so super simple. The windows were open, the wind was blowing. I don't know how much dust, I don't know how effective it was, but I dusted. I emptied the garbage cans. What else did I do? I didn't strip the bed because there was no electricity, so I couldn't wash sheets. I wiped down the mirrors, and I dust mopped all my hardwood floors, and I have a handheld vac that was still juiced up, so I was able to, yeah, I'm glad, Carol, I was able to, hi Arlene, thank you, yes, thank God, get the hair out of the bathrooms and mop. Yeah, I'm safe. So I was able to do everything except vacuum, and I'm still waiting to vacuum today. When I get off of this call, I'm going to vacuum the upstairs, and I put my sheets in the washer this morning. So let me see what all you're saying. Northeast Texas, how are you doing, Laverle? Do you know people? And Houston, I think, got it a whole lot worse than we did. You're impressed? I'm not trying to impress you. I'm trying to empower you, Raquel. Okay, don't feel overwhelmed. Don't feel behind. You can do this, Lori. You can do it. You just start where you are with your morning routine. Thank you, Carol. Yes, I'm so thankful to God for taking good care of us. I do feel that prayer changes things, maybe even the direction of the storm. I mean, I don't want to say that for people who've been praying for it not to hit them, and it hit them either. So I don't know, but I know Atlanta got their very first, as far as I know, in the history of the United States, as far as we've taken records, tropical storm warning. So that's crazy, huh? Anyway, I just want you to be empowered to do the things that you want to do to keep your house in shape. Fort Lauderdale, Missy, how did you make it down there? That was a lot more of a scary area, even though it's on the other side of the state. Raquel, you were spared. That's awesome. Okay, who was that in Fort Lauderdale? Missy, yeah. Hi, Missy. Welcome to our group. You're going to love it here. Okay, so let's talk about what Lori said. You know, she's overwhelmed. If any of you are overwhelmed, let's get started. Let's get started. What are we going to do first? Can anyone tell me? I already said it a million times, but tell me. Hi, Claire. Missy's scared but safe. Good to know, Missy. I'm so glad to know that. So glad to know that. Oh, Raquel, I'm glad I've empowered you. Juan, routines. That's right. Morning routine, Lori. That's right. My pal is going to get the tail end of Irma. Oh, we'll keep them in my prayers. Morning routine. That's right. Okay, so the answer is your morning routine. No power expected till Saturday. Missy, hugs. I know that's so hard. Morning routine. That's right, Debbie. Donna, that's right. And don't be overwhelmed. I know it's so hard to not be overwhelmed, and it's easy for me to say. You're welcome, Carol. But you just have to change this right here. You have to change your mind. Your attitude affects everything in your life. Your attitude is very important. So change your attitude and say, you know what, I can do this. And don't be cruel to your little inner child, yourself. Don't be cruel. Don't say things that you wouldn't say to someone else to yourself. Like, oh my gosh, how could you let this happen to this place? Are you insane? You know, or those things we say to ourselves. Hi, Isabel. But say instead to yourself, you know what, I see this, I see all of this, and I have a plan for it, and it will go away. You will go away when I'm good and ready. Cold and wet Scotland. Aw, I know it's cold and wet there a lot, right? Carol? Aw, I would love to be there. That sounds so fun and cold and nice. Thank you, Mary. That's very sweet. Thank you very much. All right, so I'll tell you a story, something that happened to me. When I was a young adult, my aunt lived in California, and there was, she lived in Marin County. Her husband was an officer in the Navy. Yes, Claire, I think everybody's, I don't even think in the Keys they've had any fatalities, I hope. Anyway, they had a big mudslide out there, and it was on the news, and I thought all of Marin County slid into the ocean, and I called my aunt. And I said, Aunt Alice, are you okay out there? And this is back in the days of long distance. That was a big commitment because you paid a lot of money for long distance telephone calls. And she said, what do you mean? And I said, well, I heard that, you know, y'all were having these mudslides. Are you okay? She said, oh, God, that's on the other side of town. It was like one house that went in. So that's when I learned that the news media, as much as I depend on them, and I wanted to see the news when I didn't have electricity, you have to be careful and take it with a grain of salt, because they do, and they've got a tough job. I'm not saying that it's hard, it's easy for them, but they do tend to sensationalize. You'll notice the words that they use. They'll choose a really impactful word to drive a point home. And I know a lot of times they're trying to get people to leave, which is important, and you should leave if you're in an area that you need to leave. But afterwards, everybody else keeps hearing it, and they keep saying it, and they walk through ankle-deep water and say, oh, this is a terrible flood, and it's on 2 blocks, you know. And people in other towns and cities and countries think it's horribly overwhelming, and it's not. It's not horribly overwhelming. We can do this. We can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens us, and we can do anything, right? So if you don't have lights for 2 weeks, you can still do this, right? You can do this, and that's not the end of the world, is it? You can open the windows. You can get air. Isabel, you changed your name. Well, you did. You changed it to Isabel. That's great. That's right. Amen, Raquel. Hello, Erica. So if you're in an area where there's no air conditioning, you can open the windows and you can get that nice humid air, but at least it's fresh air moving through your house. You can't wash clothes. There's no electricity, but you can certainly keep them in piles. And you can oh my goodness. Was somebody with her, Liz? Was your grandma, did somebody have with her? That's not good. Hi, Carol, again. You know, one of my best friends has MS. My mother-in-law had MS. It's amazing how many people have MS, and there's different versions of it. And I know that you have good days and bad days and hopefully never have an exacerbation, but you can do this still. Okay, and Liz is my fly baby. Her uncle was with her grandmother. Good to know. Good to know, Liz. I'm glad you're here, Liz. Welcome. So 15 minutes or less. You know, if you can't do 15 minutes and you can do 5, great. If you can't do 5 and you can do 1, great. If you can't do anything, that's okay too. And I'll take this time to say hi to Margaret, my friend with MS. Hi, Margaret. She's one of my oldest friends. She and I were neighbors since we were 5 years old. I'm glad you're here, Liz. So you can do things. Margaret keeps everything tidy, very tidy. She can't do a lot herself, but she directs people to do things for her, and she knows where everything is in her house. She's really organized because she has to be. I don't know where my my monitors are, but I think I need a monitor right now. Okay, hold on just a minute. Oh yeah, that's good. All right, so anyway, thank you, Farmer Mima. Mwah. Where was I? Let me turn my ear. I'm going to turn my, it's hot in my office. I'll make you one too, Kimmy, after this call. I sure will. Okay, so sorry about the noise, but it's warm in this room. 15 minutes. Yes, it is the hardest part. Stopping after 15 minutes is hard, but important. Unless you have to do something because somebody's coming over, the real estate agent or whatever, and you really have an emergency and you need to do that quickie where you do 15 minutes in one room, 15 minutes in another room, 15 minutes in a third room, stop and rest for 15 minutes, regroup and pick back up. But other than that, it's a lot of people's problems, isn't it, Liz? You have to stop after 15 minutes because you don't want to get so overwhelmed from doing it for so long that you won't want to do it anymore, because it comes from our perfectionism. Our perfectionism says we must have this perfect and we must not stop until it's done. And that's right, Isabel, that's right. So if we keep going and we keep going and we keep going, then we're going to be exhausted. Hi, Mary. Oh, I'm so glad you feel better. Good, Liz, take your break. So, and you know, you might find it helpful. I don't know if you'd like to, but there's an app even, a Flylady app if you have the iPhone, where you can go in and check off the things that are in your routine. It might be helpful for you. Oh, Raquel, I'm glad. I'm so glad. Okay, so let's get to what we were saying about being overwhelmed, because I don't think I actually addressed that. And they're not planning on doing one for Android. I think there's a fake one out there for Android, which still kind of works. You could look it up. That's for Liz. All right, so overwhelmed. Always start with your morning routine. If you don't know, it's not that lame, Liz. If you don't know about routines, if this is a new thing to you, you want to go to, I have a video out there on my homepage called How to Do the Flylady Routines for Newbies. It's a 40-minute video, so you'll need to have the time to really watch it and absorb it, but it's going to tell you what to do first. So what I was saying before is don't be mean to yourself and criticize yourself and be over judgmental of yourself, because this happens to all of us fly babies. It will. If we don't have some kind of a plan, it just happens. Liz Jones says always start with shining your sink, and that is the #1 thing we do. But if you don't understand what we're talking about with the routines, the basic weekly plan, the zones, you want to go watch that video, and the first thing it tells you to do is shine your sink. So that's right, Liz. Thanks for bringing that up. And there's a video down there for that too if you want to watch it first and then go into the video. It's up to you. So we want to be nice to ourselves. We really want to be nice to ourselves, and we want to just say, okay, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to do my routines, and I'm going to feel good about doing those routines. Awesome, Raquel. You have the shiniest sink in town. And then once the routines are done and you're feeling good about the routines, oh, good, Mary. It is a good idea. It makes you feel different about your kitchen. Okay, Laura, the routines that I have, go watch the video. I have a morning routine, a paper routine, oh good Raquel, morning routine, paper routine, what else do I have? A laundry routine, after dinner routine, and before bed routine. So there's 5 routines. Just start with one. If you can't do them all, just start with one. They don't take long. The morning routine, which gets you up and ready to leave the house, takes 25 minutes. And you'll be dressed. You'll have your sink clean in your bathroom, your toilet swished, your breakfast made, your dishwasher unloaded. You'll be dressed to shoes, you'll have a little makeup on, you'll be ready to go. So it is recommended that you don't dawdle and that you do the 4 F's. First, do it first when you first get up. Fast, work as quickly as you can. Now that doesn't mean to be harried, you know, oh, I've got to go, I've got to go. No, but you can't stop and do something else. Stick on with what you're doing. Good. What was that little note there? That was a good one. Oh, Laura, that's probably the problem. You have to break it down, break it down. Paper, yeah, Raquel, paper is a 5 to 15 minute routine a day, or an inch. Remember when we talked about doing an inch? Just an inch of paper. Anyway, so do your routines. Aw, you can do it. But you know what? You have a lot on your plate right now, and I always say when you have a lot on your plate, just back off and just do your routines if you can't do anything else. But routines are really important, especially the before bed routine, because it sets you up for the next day. Liz, you're so funny. Yeah, we're all ADD or ADHD or perfectionists or OCD. We all have a little bit of, maybe all of that, maybe. I'm not, nope. Hi, California. I talked to you on one of my notes. I know. Jessica, good to see you. Yep, I think we all have the same thing, because it happens to all of us. You know, I've done only my morning routines for a long time, and then I said, oh, this is ridiculous, let me just get on board. But oh, the 4 F's. First, fast, so that means, yeah, squirrel. First, fast, fun. Make it fun. Put on some music, beat the clock. It'll keep you on focus, because we tend to go shh, right? And finish, the 4 F's, get those in your brain. And then the very next thing you do, that's okay, Fatima, you can do it. So the next thing you do is you, I don't know, squirrel. See, somebody tell me what I was saying. I keep reading your notes, and it's hard for me to read your notes and think of what I want to say. So, let me think what I was saying. Oh, first, fast, fun, and finish. And then the next thing on your list, start with the first, fast, fun, and finish with that. So let's give you an example. Get up in the morning, do your morning routines. Yes, it is hard. Well, you would, Liz. Yay, Tracy, welcome. Okay, so first, fast, fun, and finish. So you finish your morning routine. After your morning routine, I always suggest do it early so you can get it done before the kids are even up. Then go through the children and do their morning routine. What is their morning routine? Get up, make your bed, wash your face, put on your clothes, hang up your towel, come to the kitchen and have breakfast. So there's the children's morning routine. The next thing is after breakfast, of course, you're going to put your dishes up. Everybody's going to help. Then you're going to go to laundry. Put in a load of laundry. While your laundry is washing itself, go to your paper. If you have piles of paper in your house, just work on one little pile and just take 1 little inch of it and go through it. And you're not handling it. You're just separating it into stacks. This one is the throwaway or shred or recycle. This one is the handle, action required, and this one is file. Take the action required and file. Hi, Anupma, good to see you. Thank you, thank you. And put it in your inbox to handle on Wednesdays when you do your paperwork, and then take the trash away. That's what you're gonna do. Okay, Liz had a question. Oh yeah, all the lizards are great. No lizards flying through the air. They're all cute and good. I was talking to one on the window screen yesterday at my daughter's house. I had to use a Spanish accent because it was a Cuban lizard. Let's see. Brain freeze. What if 10 inches of paper are uber urgent? Separate it. Separate it out. Take your 10 inches and go through it. I'll come back to you, Green Gables, I will. So separate it out. Take the trash out of it, put the emergency stuff that has to be handled right now in a stack, and the things that need to be filed. Then if you need to take care of it right now, and it's 10 inches of it, then you have to. If it's uber urgent, is something going to bounce? Is somebody going to miss an important doctor's appointment? I mean, how uber urgent is it really? Because sometimes we say things are uber urgent, and they're so not uber urgent. So my suggestion is go through it first, okay? And if you have to do it, you're going to have to do it. I mean, sometimes we have to do stuff like give birth, right? You can't not do it. You have to do it. But once it's done, it's over, and you're so happy, right? Okay, where were we? Mom moved in with us. Father died in 2014. Okay, well, have a conversation with your mama and say, hey, Mom, I'm doing this Flylady thing, and here's what I'm doing. It's super easy. I only have to work for 5 minutes doing little things, and, you know, and just say, here's my morning routine, and let's try it together. You know, always better to try it together. You're not giving her an order because she's your peer in your home, so you're going to give her a suggestion and do it together as a friend, right? Because she's no longer your mama, even though she's your mama. She's not your boss, right? You're your peers. You're both adults. So just be her friend and say, hey, let's do this together, Mom. This is the morning routine. Let's do it together and see how that goes. And then say, okay, let's do our evening routine. I bought this new stuff. You want to try it? We could put it on our face together. I mean, make it fun. You know, show the love, right? Show the love. And if not, you're going to have to just clean up after her. I don't know. Sometimes you just have to. It depends on her state of mind. I'm 64 and super able, mentally and physically. Sometimes people are able physically, not mentally, right? All right, I saw a question out there. Okay. Oh, good, Claire. I'm glad you like that. Yeah, she's your roommate now. Oops, excuse my finger here. Yeah. And you know, at 67, she doesn't really think of herself as a senior, trust me. And don't treat her like one. Your 21-year-old daughter moved back in. She's ultimately a messy person, but willing to work to be cleaner. Good, Tina. And you know what? Just share again, just like the lady with the 67-year-old mother. You know, all adults are peers, so you can't be her boss at 21. You're going to be her friend now, which is an awesome place to be with your kids. Good. All right, it's been 22 minutes, guys. I'm going to have to run, but I love, love, love talking to you today. I hope this was helpful. I'm going to put out my morning video tomorrow morning, unfortunately, which is not able to get these out for the past couple of days, so I'm really sorry if I haven't been putting those out. And I will see you guys tomorrow in my morning video and also in my daily chat. And I think you're beautiful. I love you. Bye.